Alrighty, our last lesson in Unit 1 is going to be the absolute value, and we're going to have some special cases to think about. So this is Unit 1, Lesson 9 in Algebra 1. We're going to solve absolute value equations by breaking the equation in two. But sometimes absolute value equations can have either one solution or no solution. So yesterday or last class, we had it where we were finding ones that were all two solutions, right? Now we have some situations where maybe we only have one or none. And so what does that look like? Well, let's write down just a little bit of words here. It says to solve absolute value equations. So the thing you got to know here is the absolute value cannot have a negative number. Once isolated. So remember, let's just kind of take a little walk down memory lane. Let's remind ourselves what absolute value is. So if we have 5, and we want to know what the absolute value of 5 is. Absolute value is the distance from 0. It's however many units away from 0 it is. So it can only be positive because it can only be a positive number away from 0. So the absolute value of 5 is 5. And if we had negative 5, and we took the absolute value of that, it's 5 units away from 0. And so the absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. So that's going to come into play when we are solving this, because sometimes you might have a negative number like this, where what if we had x in absolute value and we said that it equals negative 2? Well, look at this. There is no way, see both of these with the 5s, there was no way to get a negative. And so if we end up having a negative and the absolute value is by itself, this cannot work. This would be no solution. So let's do some examples so you can see what I mean. All right, so, I gave you this where I said, the absolute value of x is negative 2. Well, let's look at this. We can have the absolute value of p is negative 12. Well, we could kind of fiddle around with it. We could try to put what if we had a negative 12 in there? Would that give us a positive 12? No. The absolute value of negative 12 is going to be positive 12. So there's no way for this to occur. So because it has a negative here, this is going to be no solution. Okay. An absolute value can never equal a negative, because an absolute value by definition is the distance from 0, and that distance from 0 can only be positive. Okay, so let's look at a little bit more complicated problem. And let's see, what's going on with this. And so, let's look at this. Alrighty, so I have to get this absolute value by itself. Like this portion here, I have to get all by itself on the left-hand side, which means I'm going to have to remove this plus 5, and I'm going to have to remove this negative 2 coefficient. So let's go ahead and do that. So I am going to remove the addition or subtraction part first, which is this positive 5. So I'm going to remove that negative 8, negative 8. This is going to cancel. I bring this down here, and I've got negative 2 absolute value, 5x plus 15 absolute value. And then you might come over here and think, you look at this and you're like 8 minus 8. That equals 0. How do I solve this? Well, this is going to be your situation where there's going to be one solution, okay? You end up having one solution when it equals 0. Let me show you why. Okay, so if I take this a little bit further, I've got to get rid of this -2 here. So I do -2 and I have -2. Well, I mean, if I went and put that in the calculator, 0 divided by -2 is still going to give me 0. All right, so we've got our absolute value portion completely isolated. There is no negative case here to do. We don't have a -0. 0 is just 0, right? So there's only one case to figure out. And so I'm going to do 5x plus 15 equals 0. And I'm going to subtract my 15 and subtract my 15. That cancels. And I get 5x equals -15. And I divide by 5 and divide by 5. And so I get my only possible answer in this case is going to be x equals -3. There won't be another possibility. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to write just a little bit more here. I just want to say, this has one solution because we got to where it equaled 0. So when we have this here, when we got down to this part where it equaled 0, that's going to give us that one solution. Alrighty, let's look at this problem. We do have this -3 in front of this inequality, and then we have the -5 behind the inequality. So we need to remove those portions around the inequality before we can break it up. So let's go ahead and add 5 to both sides. So that's going to cancel. And we're going to bring down this portion. So we have -3 absolute value x plus 4 absolute value equals 15. Okay, we're going to divide by -3 and divide by -3. And so we get absolute value of x plus 4 absolute value equals 15 divided by -3 is going to give me -5. Now that we've got this down to where this is isolated, the absolute value is isolated, we have a negative here. And so that should trigger a warning bell in our head, we hope. -5 is not possible. Okay, so there is no solution. Let me take a little side note over here. You don't have to write down this portion over here, but I just want to remind you, if we had, say, the absolute value of 5, that's the distance from 0. So 5 is going to be 5 units from 0. Well, if we had the absolute value of -5, that's still 5 units from 0. The absolute value of a negative is still a positive. So there is no math way for if an absolute value is by itself for it to ever equal a negative. And that is why there is no solution to this problem. Okay, let's look at this example here. We have a -3 and a -3 in front of the absolute value, and we have -5, and then we have the -29. You might be inclined to think this -29 means that it has no solution, but this is a little bit of a tricky one. So I'm just going to put a little note here because it is very common for a student to might think, oh, that this is a negative, so it's no solution. This is not no solution. And let me show you why. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and isolate this absolute value. So we've got +5. We're going to add 5 to both sides. This cancels. We get -3 absolute value 2x plus 4 absolute value equals -29 plus 5 is going to give me -24. We're going to divide by -3 and divide by -3. This cancels, and we get the absolute value of 2x plus 4, absolute value equals negative 24 divided by negative 3 gives me positive 8. This is why this is going to be a two-solution problem. So this portion up here might might end up throwing you, but it ends up becoming this positive 8 down here once we've isolated the absolute value. So let's go ahead and break it up into our two equations. So our positive version is going to be 2x plus 4 equals 8. We subtract 4 from both sides, and we get 2x equals 4. We divide by 2 and divide by 2, and we're going to get x equals 2. Okay, let's try our negative version of this. So our negative version, we've got 2x plus 4 equals negative 8. Okay, so we can subtract 4. This cancels, and we get 2x equals negative 12. Divide by 2, and we get x equals negative 6. So our two solutions is x equals 2 and, negative 6. Those are our two possible solutions. Okay, we look at this one. The absolute value is already isolated, so that one makes this one nice and easy. So let's go ahead and break it up into our two components. So our first one is going to be the positive version. So we got x over 2 plus 4 equals 6. We subtract our 4 from both sides. And so we get x divided by 2 equals 2. I want to remind you, when it's in the denominator, that fraction bar is a division sign. It's saying x divided by 2. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply that by 2 to get that denominator cleared out. And so we get x equals 4. Well, let's go ahead and do our positive version, or our negative version, I should say. So we got x divided by 2 plus 4 equals negative 6. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. That cancels. We get x divided by 2 equals negative 10. To clear out that bottom of that denominator, we're going to multiply by 2 because that is the inverse function of x divided by 2. If we undo to the division, we multiply. That cancels, and we get x equals negative 20. So our two answer choices here are going to be x equals 4 and negative 20. Alrighty, so we see our absolute value here, and then we have this plus 11 equaling 11. And you may already start thinking there's something weird about this. And so let's go ahead and subtract our 11. And you might be thinking, okay, 11 minus 11, that cancels out. We get this one absolute value of 1 divided by 3x plus 2. Absolute value equals 11 minus 11 is 0. Well, that's kind of good news for us because remember, 0 means one solution. So we only have to break it up into one thing. Why? Well, we can't have a positive 0 and a negative 0. There is only 0. That is the only option. So when we go to solve this over here, there is only one equation to set up because it can only be equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract my 2. We get 1/3 x equals negative 2. This is in the denominator, so to clear that denominator, we got to multiply by 3 on both sides. And so I'm going to get x equals negative 6. And that is my 1 and only answer because there was no negative or positive version of 0. There was only 0. So there was only one equation to solve for this one. Okay, so I look over this. I've got my absolute value here. And then I have something on the outside of it. So I know I need to get this absolute value by itself first. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to subtract this 22. And I'm going to subtract this 22. So when I do that, I can bring down absolute value, negative 5p minus 5, absolute value equals 15 minus 22 gives me negative 7. And oh, look at that. So because we've got the absolute value totally by itself, this is going to be no solution. Okay. Why is it no solution? At no point in time can an absolute value give a negative answer. Absolute values are always positive. So let me just kind of jot over here just real fast. You don't have to write this down, but this is just reminding you why it works this way. If we had positive 7 in absolute value sign, it would give me a positive 7. If I had a negative 7 in the absolute value sign, it would still give me positive 7. There's no way to get a negative 7 when whatever we're looking at is inside these absolute value signs. It'll always be positive. So I'm just going to erase this right here. That was just a way of kind of reminding you why negatives are always going to be no solution when the negative is by itself and the absolute value is over here by itself. So I amuse myself by writing this over here. So the reason for this is absolute value can never be a negative. When you see this and you see the absolute value isolated over here. Alrighty, we got one last problem, my friends, and then that's it. So we've got the absolute value here equals 5. This absolute value part is already isolated. There's nothing before it or after it. So we don't have to do that isolation portion. We can just go ahead and break it up into our two equations. So I'm going to do my positive version, which is 1/2 z plus 3 equals 5. So I can subtract my 3. And be careful when you're writing z. Like my 2's and my z's look the same. And so, yeah, not always the best letter to use in these problems. Okay, so 5 minus 3 is going to give me 2. I have a 2 in my denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2 to get rid of that denominator. And so I get z equals 4. All right, let's do the negative option. Okay, so when I set up my negative option, I've got 1/2 z plus 3 equals negative 5. So I'm going to subtract my 3 from both sides. And so I get 1/2 z equals negative 8. I'm going to multiply by 2 to get rid of that denominator. And so I get z is negative 16. So my two answers on this one, we have 4 or negative 16. I hope that helps, guys. Until next time, bye.